Dun da da! We have another Spyderco review. I know my intro wasn't that good there, but welcome back to another review. This is just a quick discussion on a Paramilitary 2 that I have here, and this one is in black. I haven't really used this one. It might have some dust and some fingerprints on it. Let me just wipe it off there, and there you go. If you've seen my other videos on knives, you'll know that I love Spydercos. I just tend to not use them so much. Maybe I got to put them in a rotation or something. But they're all, the grind, especially the full flat grind on Spydercos, is probably the best in the industry in terms of how well it cuts. Some of you guys may know that I did make knives in the past, and if we can compare it to, let's say, a cold steel knife. So if we look at the overall geometry of these knives, you'll see that on the spine, they're roughly the same thickness. In fact, the Spyderco might be a little bit thicker in some areas. As we get towards the tips, let's get that. The Spyderco, like the taper, really gets a lot thinner, and it tapers a lot faster. Okay, and then if you look at the edge and you look at the overall profile, you'll see that the full flat grind on Spyderco is a lot thinner, and the thinness of the grind really helps in cutting efficiency. And that's something that, if you look as to what I did with it, you'll see some marks, like some streaks of going up and down. And what I did on this was I slightly ground it and convexed it on my belt grinder. And the reason was it was specifically because of that, and to thin it out a little bit, just a hair. And overall, though, either one of these knives are going to be great for you. The Spyderco is something, just look at that. I haven't used it. I haven't probably used this in a year, maybe 2 years, probably 2 years, yeah. And the alignment is perfect. I mean, what's going to happen to it? It hasn't really rusted in the box. It didn't really come oily to me either. The compression lock is pretty cool. It's fun to play with. There's a lot of tricks that people do with the compression lock, and overall it's just a fun knife to have. But yeah, Spydercos are highly recommended, but if you've seen my folding knife philosophy, you'll know that I like stuff that's super heavy duty, and that's cheap, easy to sharpen. And S30V isn't incredibly hard to sharpen. It's just a little bit harder to get an edge on than, let's say, AUS 8 or some of the more inexpensive steels. You can flip the pocket clip to, whichever side you want, and whichever tip up or tip down carry. And overall, S30V is going to do you great. It's a premium steel for most people. For some, high-end knife nuts that are collectors, it might be kind of like a standard or low-end steel. It all depends on where you're coming from and, what you really want to do with the knife. Spydercos, a lot of people complain that they're kind of delicate, but they're not delicate. They're tools for cutting, and I agree with that. It's just you have to pick the right knife for the job. So let me get something else out here. So this is an Opinel. A lot of people don't know about these. These are almost like a sin to have in the United States because they're French, and they have a turning lock. But something like this, you wouldn't really want to use for super heavy duty applications. I use this as a letter opener, and this is a force patina that I put on there. Another knife that's really thinly ground, and that's just an excellent cutter. All right, and you can see also full flat grind, very thin tip, but it works really well for what it is. But you're not really going to use this if you're doing heavy duty outside, work on wood and stuff like that. Like I said, I do that. I use it as a letter opener, and it works just fine. I also open packages and stuff with it without an issue. It sits right on my desk. I like the wood feel of the knife as well, and it's also very cheap. I think I got that as a gift so I didn't even buy that one. But I love it nevertheless. And so Spyderco knives, they're just excellent knives, made in the USA in Golden, Colorado, most of them. So if you're interested in the Paramilitary too and you like it, I would say get it. I don't have any complaints about this other than Spydercos don't tend to be my preferred knife, and that's just my personal preference. And it doesn't have anything to do with the complaint I have with Spydercos. I have zero complaints with them, but it comes down to personal preference. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about knives, have any suggestions or reviews you want to see, let me know, and I'll get to them. Take care.